You are a human. Right now, that word means one thing. You. Us. The only kind of human left on Earth. But for almost the entire story of our kind, that sentence would not have singled you out, because you would have had company. Other kinds of human, walking the same planet, at the same time. Around 100,000 years ago, there were at least 5 or 6 of them. And today, every single one is gone, except yours. This is every human species that ever lived. And the story of why you are the only one still standing. Hi, I'm Grug, and yeah, you can blame evolution. Here is our map, a family tree that runs from almost 4 million years ago, all the way to you. I'll light up each relative as we go. So let's start way back, before we were even Homo anything. Meet Lucy. She lived about 3 million years ago in what is now Ethiopia, and she is one of the most famous fossils ever found. Lucy walked upright, on 2 legs, just like you. But from the neck up, she was closer to a chimp. Her brain was about the same size. How did she die? We are honestly not sure. One team scanned her bones and argued she fell out of a tall tree and hit the ground at highway speed. Other scientists say, not so fast, those cracks could just be millions of years of rock doing the damage. So, maybe a fall. The argument is still going. And yes, she is called Lucy because the night she was dug up, the team had a Beatles song on repeat. Fast forward a bit, and we meet the first members of our own group, Homo, like Homo habilis, whose name literally means handyman. We called it that because we thought it made the very first stone tools. Turns out it did not. We have since found tools that are 3.3 million years old, 700,000 years older than habilis itself. So somebody was chipping rocks long before handyman ever showed up. Still, habilis was a clever little scavenger, using its tools to strip meat off the carcasses that bigger predators left behind. Next up, the overachiever of the family, Homo erectus. 2 big deals here. One, it was the first of us to walk out of Africa entirely, spreading all the way across Asia. And 2, here is the humbling part. Erectus lasted around 1.5 million years. Our species has been around for maybe 300,000. Erectus outlived us many times over. It also seems to have been the first to really tame fire and cook its food, possibly as far back as 750,000 years ago, though the deeper we dig, the blurrier that evidence gets. Then there is Homo heidelbergensis, big, strong, and a serious hunter. From this era, we have the oldest complete wooden hunting weapons ever found, a set of beautifully carved throwing spears. Exactly who made them and exactly when, we are still arguing about. But they prove these humans were bringing down big game with real, engineered weapons. Heidelbergensis is probably sitting somewhere near the last common ancestor we share with the next branch of the family. Probably. The tree gets messy right here. Now for the strange one. Homo naledi had a brain about the size of an orange, but its bones turned up deep inside a pitch-black South African cave, down passages so tight you can barely fit a body through. Its discoverers made a huge claim. That naledi deliberately carried its dead into that cave, and even scratched art onto the walls. The kind of behavior we usually reserve for big-brained humans like us. The problem? Most other scientists looked at the evidence and said, it just is not there. Maybe it is a natural death trap. The debate got loud. So file this one under, amazing if true. And now we reach the humans you have actually heard of, the Neanderthals. Forget the dumb caveman cliché. Their brains were as big as ours, sometimes bigger. They made glue, real distilled birch tar, the oldest synthetic material any human ever produced, cooked up in a low-oxygen underground process that takes serious know-how. And here is the part that is personal. If your family is not from Africa, about 2% of your DNA is Neanderthal. Right now, inside you. We did not just live next to them, we had children with them. Which brings us to their mysterious cousins, the Denisovans. For years, we knew this entire species from basically a single pinky bone in a Siberian cave. That is it. One finger. But that finger, and a few other scraps, told us incredible things. Denisovans handed modern Tibetans a gene that lets them breathe easy high in the mountains. In one cave, we found a girl whose mother was a Neanderthal and whose father was a Denisovan. A first-generation child of 2 different kinds of human. And then, just recently, scientists finally matched a nearly complete skull, nicknamed Dragon Man, to the Denisovans. For the very first time, we could look one in the face. And if your roots are in the Pacific, 3 to 5% of your DNA is theirs. Meanwhile, on an island in Indonesia, evolution did something wild. It shrank a human. Homo floresiensis stood about 1 meter tall, which earned it the nickname the Hobbit. Stranded on an island, it dwarfed down over time. The same thing that happened to the elephants living right alongside it. We used to picture the Hobbit hunting those dwarf elephants. But newer evidence points to something grimmer, and honestly cooler. It probably scavenged, sneaking scraps off the carcasses left behind by giant Komodo dragons. Tiny humans living in the shadow of dragons. Just a short hop away, on the island of Luzon in the Philippines, there was yet another one. Homo luzonensis, only discovered in 2019. Its curved finger and toe bones hint that this little human never fully came down from the trees. It was still partly a climber. And finally, us, Homo sapiens. Our oldest bones from Morocco are around 300,000 years old. And here is the thing to sit with. For most of that time, we were nothing special, just one kind of human among many. We shared the planet with Neanderthals, with Denisovans, with Hobbits, with climbers and giants. A whole world full of different humans. And then, one by one, they were gone, until only we were left. So, why us? Why are you the last human standing? It was not strength. Neanderthals were stronger. It was not staying power. Erectus lasted far longer. What we had was each other. We talked. We taught. We built bigger and bigger networks, passing knowledge down across generations until it snowballed into everything you see around you today. And we did not simply outlast the others. We absorbed them. Part of you is Neanderthal. Part of some of you is Denisovan. Several kinds of human walked into the last ice age. One walked out, carrying pieces of all the rest. You are the only human left. Blame evolution. If you want more of the instincts, fears, and quirks, you can blame on evolution. Subscribe. There is a whole family of them, and every single one is yours.